Hello students. So today we will start our second paper, which is semiconductor devices, and in this paper our unit 1 is related with semiconductors, and our first topic is energy bands in solids. This topic you have already studied in your 10 plus 2, but this is an important topic, so we'll again discuss this topic here, and also this topic is part of your syllabus. So energy bands in solids. As we know, in any atoms, electron revolves around the nucleus in almost circular orbits as per Bohr atomic theory, and energy of electron in each subcell is definite. Electron can revolve only in a particular orbit whose energy is quantized. This we know as per Bohr atomic model. Okay, and the definite energy value of these energy levels are called energy eigenvalues. Okay, but this is the scenario for an atom, a single atom. But in a crystal atoms, but in crystals we know a crystal is consists of number of atoms. So in a crystal, atoms are arranged in a regular and periodic manner. A solid crystal contains about 10 raised to power 29 atoms per meter cube. This number is 10 raised to power 29 atoms per meter cube. Okay, so each atom is in the electrostatic field of neighboring atoms, because in a crystal we have number of atoms. The order we have already discussed. Okay, so each atom is in the influence of neighboring atoms, and due to this interaction between the atom, the modification of energy levels takes place. As per Bohr atomic model, we discuss energy levels of an single atom, but when we discuss a crystal which consists of these many number of atoms, about 10 raised to power 29, so in that case what will happen, these atoms start interacting with each other. Okay, and due to that the modification of energy levels will takes place. Okay, and the maximum effect of the interaction is on the valence electron. Okay, the outermost electron will be affected most. Okay, so the energy level of outermost orbit E becomes E plus delta E. That means each energy level becomes broad. Now this the energy of that outermost orbit will not be E but E plus delta E. Okay, and this broadening of energy levels is called energy bands, and the electrons in the inner shells are strongly bound to nuclei, so they are slightly affected by the presence of neighboring atoms, or we can say there is no effect on the innermost electrons, and because they are strongly bound to the nuclei, and they also called as core levels. If the energy band consists of as much as electrons permitted by the Pauli exclusion principle, then it is said to be completely filled. Okay, and in such a band there will be no free electrons for conduction of electricity, while a partially filled band, in a partial filled band conduction is possible. Okay, so now we consider this, how this modification of energy levels takes place. So for that, let us consider a single crystal of silicon atoms having n atoms. Okay, we have considered a crystal of silicon in which we have n number of atoms. The electronic configuration of silicon we know is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p2. Okay, that means the inner orbit, first and the second orbit is completely filled, and the third orbit, which is in which we have 2s electron and 2p electrons, is it is not completely filled. Okay, the energy level of silicon atom in an isolated state as well as in the crystal form are shown in figure below. In this figure, see this figure carefully. We have plotted this, we have drawn this figure. About this horizontal axis we have taken interatomic spacing between the atoms, and about this vertical axis we have considered the energy of the levels. Okay, and these are the our energy levels. One is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p. Okay, so this 1s, 2s and 2p, they are the innermost orbits, so there will be no effect on these energy levels as we decrease the interatomic distance between them. Okay, as we decrease this distance, as we reduce the R, there will be no effect on these energy level, they will remain the same. But when we decrease the interatomic distance R, there will be effect on this outermost orbit 3s2 and 3p2. So this we will discuss. So the energy state, the first thing which we have seen in this figure is the energy states of 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 of the inner shell electron are not disturbed with decrease in R. Okay, there will be no change in their energy when we decrease the interatomic distance R between the silicon atoms. Okay, and these 3p states, which are 6n in numbers, because in each p we have 6 possible states where electron can reside. So for each there are n atoms, so corresponding to 3p states of all n atoms there are 6n number, there are 6n energy states. Okay, and are all of same energy for large value of R. Okay, because all atoms are of silicon, so the all 3p states having same energy. Okay, and are those which are affected first of all on decreasing R, because this orbit is the most outermost orbit of the silicon, and this will be the first which will affected. Okay, and the splitting of this starts in the form of band at R is equal to R1. Say at R is equal to R1, what will happen? This 3p orbit, this will start splitting. Okay, some states of lower and other of some higher energies. Okay, and of these 6n 3p states, only lower 2n are occupied by the electrons and the upper 6n are vacant. Okay, because there are only 2 electrons in the outermost orbit, so only 2 will be occupied and the remaining 4n will be the vacated. Okay, so with further decrease of R, the splitting of 2n 3s state will also start at R is equal to R2. Okay, the splitting of this s orbit will start at somewhat lesser distance between the lesser interatomic distance in comparison to the 3p2, which we can observe. This splitting start at this point and this start at this point R2. Okay, and this splitting will increase with decrease of R, which you can see this splitting is starts increasing, this starts increasing. Okay, that means the splitting start increasing with decrease of R. As we decrease the R, the splitting will increases. So at a state when R reduces to R3 6n, when we reduce this distance R is equal to R3, we see there are 6n states in 3p states and 2n states in 3s states. They merge together and they give band of 8n mixed states. So here we got this thing. Okay, we got this at R is equal to R3, R is equal to R3, we have this mixed state. That means we got a band of total 8n state in which we cannot distinguish which one is P and which one is S. Okay, and in this situation we have total 8n mixed states, and out of those 8n, 4n will be completely filled and 4n will be completely vacated. Why? Because we have only 4n electrons, 2n electrons of 3s orbital and 2n electrons of 3p orbitals. Okay, so total we have 4n electrons and total states we have 8n. So out of those 8n, 4n will be occupied by the electrons and other 4n will be vacated. Okay, now with further decrease of R, the splitting of this 8n again starts at R is equal to R4. Okay, now see what will happen when we further decrease this R. Okay, so what will happen, the splitting of this A10 mixed state will again start, okay, in the form of two bands separated by a small energy gap, and finally at R is equal to R0, which we called as equilibrium interatomic distance, the crystal is formed, okay. What we say, a stable crystal is formed at this situation. So at this stage, a lower band of foreign energy states is completely filled with electrons, assuming 0 Kelvin temperature, and an upper band of foreign energy levels completely vacated of electrons are obtained, and these two bands separated by a small energy gap Eg, where no electrons state is allowed. This energy gap is called forbidden gap or band gap, and the lower band of energy state is called valence band, which is completely filled by the electrons, and the upper band is called the conduction band, which is completely empty at 0 Kelvin, okay. So this is how this energy band formed in a solid, okay. So here you can see this band is the valence band and the upper band is the conduction band, which is separated by the band gap Eg, okay. And depending on this energy band gap, we can actually distinguish the type of material, okay, type of material, type of solids, means is it a semiconductor or a metal or a insulator, okay. So depending on this band gap value Eg, if this band gap value is of the order of 1 electron volt, in that case the material will be of semiconductor nature, okay. And if this band gap value is of the order of 5 electron volt, then that material is known as insulator, okay. Those materials are insulators, and the band gap, if it is of 1 electron volt, then it is semiconductor, okay. Then there is a third category, if there will be no band gap, if band gap is of 0 electron volt, or we say Eg is no band gap exists. So those materials are called metals. In case of metals, the conduction band and the valence band, they merge into each other, okay. So the band gap between the metals is 0 electron volt, you can say, okay, or there is no existence of band gap for metals, okay. But in case of semiconductor, this band gap do exist, and the order of that band gap is of 1 electron volt, and for insulator this band gap is quite large, which is of the order of 5 electron volt, okay. Because we are discussing semiconductors, so in semiconductors there are two important semiconductors which we discuss in detail, silicon and germanium. Both have same structure. The band gap of silicon is 1.1 electron volt and band gap of germanium is 0.72 electron volt at room temperature, okay. This band gap value do depend on temperature of semiconductors, okay, and also on the doping, so that we will discuss in our coming lecture. But in general, the band gap value of silicon at room temperature is 1.1 electron volt, and for germanium is 0.72 electron volt. I hope you have understood this lecture. Thank you.